Atlanta Braves, Max Fried, is taking his talents to the New York Yankees, and he's doing it for some real chump change here. 8 years, $218 million contract. That is said to be the largest guarantee for a left-handed pitcher in the history of baseball. It is the 12th contract of at least 100 million dead presidents the Yankees have given out. That breaks a tie in the history of the Yankees with the Dodgers, the most of any team in baseball. I know you're keeping score as you listen to this show. So Max Fried is 30 years old. He's a two-time All-Star. And over the last 5 seasons in Atlanta, an earned run average of 2.81, and that is tops in the major leagues over the last 5 years, just ahead of fellow free agent Corbin Mr. Burns, late of the Orioles, among all Major League Baseball starting pitchers in that time frame. So this is a big deal. It's a lot of money, and certainly worthy of some conversation. So let us discuss the question. What is your reaction to Max Fried getting the over $215 million, we use round numbers, over $215 million, $218 to be exact, contract from the Yankees? So I've got edible arrangements, Enron, and Congress. And we will combine all of these things together, and we are going to make a nice portfolio because Max Fried is going to have an awesome portfolio of investments, little crypto, little Wall Street, little real estate, and cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Because the key to making money is to have money. When you have money, you make money. And when you have a lot of money, you make a lot more money. You are set up. Generations of the Max Fried family set up now. Compliments of the Steinbrenner family. So, A, you knew something big was going to go down. You didn't know what was going to happen, but you knew the Yankees were embarrassed, rightfully so. This is very unbecoming of the Yankees to lose a player like Juan Soto, who they wanted, and to be spurned, left at the altar, and have him go across New York to another borough over there to Queens. That's a kick to the nuts. And so they needed to do something. And it's Newton's third law of motion, which states that for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. So Juan Soto goes to the Mets, and the opposite reaction by the Yankees is, oh, my God, oh, my God, oh, my God, oh, my, we got to sign somebody, oh, my God, Max Fried, we need you, Max. All right, so they did. They signed Max Fried. Now, my advice to Max Fried is he should send an edible arrangements gift over to Juan Soto and Scott Boras, because without Soto leaving the Yankees to go to the Mets, Max Fried would have gotten a lot of money. He would have never gotten over $215 million. That deal does not happen without Juan Soto part of the arithmetic on this one. Now, we like the player. I'm going to be completely transparent with you. Why else would I be any other way? But if you know the history of this show, one of the most important nights in the history of this show, Max Fried was a part of. Now, am I a fan of the Atlanta Braves? No, I am not a fan of the Atlanta Braves. You know that I don't like the Atlanta Braves. I don't hate them. I just don't like them. I'm not a Braves fan, Sam, I am. But for 1 week, I was an Atlanta Brave fan. Let's go back a few years ago, the World Series. It was a closeout game, and oh, what a gutty performance it was, showing massive amounts of machismo against the cheating Astros. Max Fried went out there in a closeout game and was brilliant as Atlanta exterminated the cheating a-holes out of the playoffs. It was a glorious night, and for that, I am grateful. So I'm happy for Max Fried. He's battle-tested, at least in that particular game. You can look at some of his other playoff numbers and say what's going on, but it's a wacky amount of money. It's cartoon money. It's fake money. It's not real-world money. It's just the world of the baseball universe, and good for Max Fried. Now, part 2 of this, please do not take a catnap. Why did the Yankees give Max Fried 8 years? The money is one thing, but 8 years. It's a long time. So this part of the story is some classic finagling of the books. Enron level accounting. If you don't remember Enron, look it up. Google it. Max Fried is 30 years old. The athletic prime is over at 32, maybe 33. So you sign a 30-year-old to an 8-year contract. You know the math. He's locked up till he's 38. Generally speaking, that is bad business, right? That is not good business. That would be on the negative side of the business equation. Unless you're using Enron-like accounting. It's all about the luxury tax. And now, as we understand it, let me explain this to you as I understand it, and I'm going to explain it to you like your child. So Max Fried's average annual value, the AAV, $27.25 million. That's what he's going to get on average. That is 37th all time. To give you some perspective, he's just below Tyler Glasnow, the guy that's made out of glass, who the Dodgers got last offseason. Of course, he was nowhere to be seen when the playoffs came around because he's made out of glass, and glass shatters by October. But the smart money, stay focused, the smart money says that the Yankees extended the deal for Max Fried 8 years as a way to, again, I'll go back to the word finagle, the luxury tax to get a lower luxury tax hit, because that system that Major League Baseball put in is based on AAV, average annual value. So knowing that Fried will be washed up way before he's 38 years old. In fact, reality is this is a $218 million contract over 4 years. But it's being laid out over 8 years, knowing that if you get anything out of Max Fried past the age of 34, so it's 35, 36, 37, 38, that's all gravy. That you don't expect anything out of him. He's a back-of-the-rotation guy. He'll pitch half the season, that kind of guy. You're just moving some numbers around on an accounting page to stay out of the luxury tax purgatory, or at least give you more wiggle room in that department. All right, you understand? All right, very good. All right, now, last word. We go to Boston, where the Red Sox were trying to get Max Fried. Shockingly, they did not. Continuing another offseason of futility, which is not over yet, but things have mostly been quiet for the Fenway faithful there. A lot of noise that something big is coming round the mountain. When it comes, something big. Okay? Believe that when it happens. Now, there has been a lot of noise that something big will be cheating ass. 1-1000, 2-1000. Oh! Free agent third baseman Alex Bregman, who has been prominently mentioned. There are reports coming out of the winter meetings that the Red Sox have made proposals to Alex Bregman. However, it is a house divided in the luxury suite the Red Sox have at the winter meetings when it comes to whether or not they actually want to put pen to paper on the cheating a-hole, Alex Bregman. Fellow cheating a-hole, Alex Cora, the manager, and slimy team president Sam Kennedy are all in. Why wouldn't they be? But Craig Breslow, the general manager, is said to be reluctant, as in he's not interested. Wink, wink, nod, nod. So the Red Sox, sum it up like this. The Red Sox are said to be split on Alex Bregman in free agency. How should they handle this? So my advice to the Sox, my advice is to act like you are a member of Congress abstaining from the vote on Bregman. Just say no. Just say no. Boston signed Rafael Devers for $331 million to play third base. Was that not within the last year? $331 million. Bregman, last I checked, maybe I'm wrong on this. I just did the overnight show. Who knows? Bregman is a third baseman and would not be as good at another position. Now, Devers could move somewhere else, but you just paid him. He's not that old yet. You only wait several more years to move a guy. You're worth more at third base than you would be at another position. But the fact that Bregman's covered in cooties, playground cooties, and for the rest of his career is tarnished, he's tainted, he's got the scarlet letter, why would you want to do business with him? Now, of course, the obvious variable, if you will, is that Alex Cora is the manager, and he's a happy cheater there in Boston. And the Red Sox not only got rid of him, they brought him back knowing what they know about him, so that does complicate the situation. But there's only one place that makes sense for Alex Bregman. There's only one that makes sense, and that is staying put in the den of iniquity and staying right there. The ass 1,000, 1,000 holes. They're the outlaws of baseball. Bregman and that little cheat Altuve, the guy that did a striptease like he was, public nudity in San Diego, showed us all his ugly, disgusting toes and his little foot there in San Diego, and never got punished for that. It was disgusting. Makes me want to barf. Those two should stay there the rest of their careers. And the Astros are going to suck, and I can't wait for them to really get down into the real suck. Like, they're not quite at that level of suck, but they're not that far away from that level of suck. Bregman's getting older. Altuve's getting older. I don't care how many buzzers and whistles they use. So, hey, I'm all for it, man. Sign me up. Let those guys stay there, and let's see full circle, a couple 100 lost seasons down the line for the A-holes.